Hey folks, this is Ted Cantu, and you're listening to the Online Money Machine Show. And we've got some stormy weather here for you. And we're a little late with our podcast. We apologize. We've been on the road extensively. And in fact, you just listened to a little bit of the Dave Matthews Band. We actually saw them last week at the Rothbury Festival here in Michigan. I think 40,000 people were there. That was pretty amazing. 40,000 people. There might have been more. I was there for about 3 days, maybe 4 days, 3 nights, 2 nights, whatever it was. It's a big blur, actually. And that was pretty cool. So Dave Matthews did, you just heard Cornbread. Yeah, he actually did that for us live. That was the second track he played Saturday night. And 311 was there. Gomez put on a nice show. That was pretty cool. Snoop Doggy Dogg was there too. That was kind of a weird mix because he was listed right up there with John Mayer and all the other people. So it's kind of a very strange and wonderful extravaganza. Over at the Double J Ranch in Rothbury, Michigan, which is near my hometown of Muskegon. So that was kind of cool. So we made the road trip up there and checked everything out. That was pretty amazing. So anyway, that does kind of tie into my overall theme today. There's a lot of things I want to say. I haven't been on the air in a long time, so and of course, if you know who I am, I'm Ted Cantu. I'm an ex-art director from the mean streets of Chicago and New York City, and I've actually done a lot of really cool things with online mobile video and direct response marketing, copywriting, website, development, and I'm more impressed with the latest developments in digital video lately because it's just exploding. The whole market's just exploding, and so it's really, really important because this really does tie into a lot of search engine rankings. So I get a lot of flack and heat from typical SEO people saying, "Hey, you're not a typical SEO." I never said I was. I am certified, but I don't do straight SEO. I kind of bend the rules a bit and look for new opportunities and communication lines to get visibility. And by the way, if I'm going to put this out there real quick before we get started with the show today, it doesn't take 7 months to get listed. It takes like 4 hours if you know what you're doing. Want to go to my website and check out some of the stuff that we do. We kind of blend these different techniques together, and you're looking at things like, we're in 28 different industries right now, which is pretty extreme, and it's growing because we got some new projects, which I will get into later. And you want to go to www.oneseomichigan.com, and there's also some other links there too for some other cool stuff going on. But anyway, I want to really kind of get into the show just really quick because the focus of the show is the Online Money Machine Show. I want to see you guys make some money out there and understand some of what's going on because I think a lot of companies that I'm consulting with, and I meet a lot of different people, they leave a lot of money on the table, or worse yet, they don't carry through the experiences that you need to put in place to get that money off the table. So, it's kind of like half met. I always like the analogy from Austin Powers when Dr. Evil ties Austin to a pole, and he wants the sharks to eat him. He doesn't want to actually see the sharks physically eat him. He just hopes that when he closes the door, things will go according to plan. And of course, Austin gets away. But the thing was, a lot of business owners do that too. They don't want to look at the outcome of what's out there. They just want to put the site up so they can do this keeping up with the Joneses type thing, and hopefully everything will go according to plan. And by that I mean they will make money. And that's not how it works, unfortunately, because if that was the truth, we'd all be rich, right? All right, let's get into this thing right now. I want to just kind of talk a little bit about the limousine syndrome that I think is pretty interesting. Limousine syndrome kind of works like this. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, the Jerry Seinfeld show, he made a classic joke that that the older it gets, it's less understandable with each retelling, but it kind of goes like this. Something about, what's the big deal with people getting limousines? It's like announcing to the world, hey, I got $50. Something like that. Now, I probably got it wrong, but you get the general idea. Well, I'm seeing a lot of this lately, and anybody who's got a PR web account is able to basically do the same thing. So, and I see a lot of these PR web accounts announcing, it sounds like they're announcing great things, but they're announcing things like, hey, we just got a new blog, or hey, we just did this website redo. And you look at the stuff that they're promoting, and it's, it's pretty schlocky, and but the really strong thing about that is the PR web people are pretty brilliant at, I'm not going to answer that phone, by the way, because this is ridiculous. We're the Online Money Machine Show. We're not the phone company. Anyway, you get interruptions all the time in the studio. But, see, I lost my train of thought here, talking to you wonderful folks. I'm not going to answer that. Unbelievable. So, my whole thing about the joke was that this is kind of thing with PR web, is that they're always, you can advertise anything for a few bucks. You can actually advertise anything. $380 gets you a lot of leverage, and you get plugged into a lot of different places where people can actually physically find you and see you, and that's really encouraging. That's really amazing, and I just don't think a lot of things that got on there are very newsworthy, but it's something you probably should do. Here goes the phone again. Hear that? I'm not going to answer it. Unbelievable. This show is going to go on the air regardless. We got a thunderstorm going on over here. I got phones ringing off the hook, and I'm dedicated to bring this show to you people. The Online Money Machine Show will go on the air, folks. I'm determined to bring this to you. Rain or shine, festival or no festival. I got taken out of the studio so many times in the last month. It's just been unbelievable. Plus, I've been on the road, and I've been shooting some video with some legendary people out there. The amazing Rick Ruby, of course. And if you've seen some of our clips out there, he's the classic business coach. I'm not going to answer the phone. Done it. And we have also Minish Baxi. I'm going to put these phones near the room. This is really obnoxious. I'm sorry, folks, that you got to hear and put up with this crap. But we're not fooling around today on the Online Money Machine Show. Anyway, Rick Ruby and Minish Baxi are going to be doing some live clips out there. We've got Pete Schwartz, too, from the Dan Kennedy IBA group out of Oakland County. So look for our clips out there because we're doing some pretty phenomenal things. And for those of you who know Rick, he's just a phenomenal speaker, high energy, high voltage, I like that, speaker. And he really just kind of lays it on the line, what you need to do if you want to make money in this bloodbath economy, which is the Midwest. So we come back here quite a bit because our home office is actually split between here and actually Stamford, Connecticut. So we go back and forth quite often. And these are the things that we're doing now, we're working with. But it's fascinating, too, because if you watch the clips that are coming up, he's talking about the shrinking value of the American dollar, and now he had a hard time getting his funds transferred into euros because the Europeans just didn't think much of our money, and he had a real ordeal, and I think that's really important to remember as we start to make money in our companies. Exactly what we're doing, and a lot of us out there do not have systems in place to capture leads,